see the dust is, look at that. Look at how the dust is just like black. So I'm going to stand by here. If he wants his camera, I'll hand it to him so he can check out his video to see his view of it. The struggle is real, folks.
Hey guys, welcome to my first episode of Vlogoween. If you haven't heard, it's a new short series for the month of October, which entails me putting out a new video each and every day, 7 days a week for the entire month of October. It's going to be featuring Halloween type stuff and some cool creepy things as well. And today we have something that's going to be pretty interesting to kick off this series. Right behind me here are some abandoned ruins and remains and remnants. And I'm calling this a pretty cool roadside find. Down here is Southeast Pennsylvania today, and joining me in the background is RJ78 Productions and Alan of Revenge of the Apocalypse. I figured this would be a great location to kick off this series. So if you want to check this out with me and see what there is down here, all you got to do is come along with me. So as you can see, there is a clear foundation here, and when we initially looked at it, we thought it was just this structure right here. I went down there through that hole and found that it's much more than what we could see here. So I'm going to take you down there with me. But before we go down there, I want to hear from you guys. Comment down below. Tell me what you think this is. My personal thoughts is it has something to do with coal mining, with processing, something to do with a building that was handling the processing of coal. And the reason I say that is because we're in a coal mine region here, and down here at the ports there's narrow gauge railroad tracks which are typically used underground in coal mines. So based on what you see in the video, if you see more things that maybe stand out to you, definitely let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. So on top of the wall here you can see it's a big flat surface, some faded nature's carpet. Now looking down there is the opening where RJ is standing and Alan's already down here. And from here, doesn't look like much, but we're gonna head inside and I'm gonna show you the reason why we're gonna make this video today at this location, because it's much more than just this. So I'll see you down there. So like typical places, there is a lot of trash and junk and items tossed here, so we have to navigate around that. Right in the outskirts here is a pipe protruding out from the wall. And here is the opening, which looks pretty cool. I do have to say it's pretty neat looking, almost like a cave opening. And now it's mainly being used for water, but here's the railroad tracks, narrow gauge tracks. These are not full size like you would see on traditional railroads. They are much smaller, you can see by the scale size of my hand, but they are embedded in the concrete for support, structural integrity. Looks like they did go all the way through and they were cut. This is not natural. This is pretty much busted open. And you can see here where they were cut, where they were torched. So these would have been straight across connected. This would not be open. This was done in later times. There's a good look at the track there. You can see it's just kind of filled in with concrete, but the underside of it is open. There's the pipe that we showed before. It goes all the way through. And now we're inside the building. What looks to be like a chimney is actually, excuse me, a structural support beam. I believe there might be metal inside of there, and they have concrete encasing it. And a lot of overgrowth, but you see that? That is why we are doing this video, because that is a shocking discovery when I saw this. And it goes for a decent distance, and we're going to require some lighting, which I did bring with me. Even a off-road helmet here. People just toss whatever. It's actually laying inside of a piece of furniture there. Now there is a little pathway here, so it looks like people have been here before. It's probably well known amongst the locals, but here's some more evidence of people dumping. There's an actual couch right here, which is actually growing some nature's carpet on it. A Honda wheel and a bunch of other stuff, which doesn't really help, but it's kind of to be expected at this point. People just do whatever they want. But we are in basically the bowels, the basement of this building. Not sure how tall it would have went. Don't see any evidence of machinery or anything like that. It could have been storage, but we have darkness ahead of us. So before we go in here, I want to know what your thoughts are. I can tell you up front that the whole roof line is all narrow gauge railroad tracks. They're all laying across in rows of it, basically providing the roof, the support of the earth above it. I'm not sure if this is for water, if maybe coal carts roll through here maybe. There's a lot of possibilities, and as we're going to see, it actually splits off in different directions. It's not a mine, it's not a cave, this is naturally man-made, it is part of this building, but finding this though, and pretty well intact, was a shocking discovery. So let's go inside. So we've got our lights on, looking here, even the sidewalls here have more rail. And this is what we're looking at. It's a stone stacked wall. This part looks older actually. This is all stone. And above us is the railroad tracks, narrow gauge. On the bottom here, there actually is some pieces of coal. Looks almost like waste material, but there is clear evidence of anthracite coal. That's shiny quality material right there. So we're definitely on the right track. Ooh, found some bones. That's definitely going in theming with our series that we're doing here. It's like leg bones. And it looks like it may be a dart gun. Did we find a toy? It might be officially abandoned. Haven't said that in a while. There's Alan up there. It's kind of a low ceiling here. I'm squatting down right now. Where he is, it's a bit taller. So I'm gonna, yeah, you can see him there.
So right here, I can actually stand up if I'm between the rails, but
yeah, he's also a bit taller, so I mean, I could walk through there without a problem. I'm actually gonna set you guys down, walk in here a bit further. You can see how it looks from our camera, and then we'll pick back up and continue on, because up ahead, it does split off. Left is where RJ is, and to the right, it goes in that direction. Okay, so you saw me walking through. It's not too bad. I'm just kind of hunched over right now. And here is a change in level, and I'll show you why. As I spin around, there's actually an opening here, and this is the outside. This is the top portion of this level. It's just material and earth upon it, and the rails are doing a good job, and that's not going anywhere for providing stability and support. But I'm not sure why this is opened up here, why it'd be two different levels. It definitely didn't drop down. I know that. This is built this way, but curious as to why. But we have more to see though. The intriguing part though is that this is definitely older than the building out there. The building out there is concrete. This is all hand stacked stone. The ground is just littered in stones and boulders and stumps, and it's wet and moist, has that musty, damp smell to it. And up on top, as we get a little bit further, we're going to see some stalactites hanging down from the top. This is another level. This is actually concrete. It's almost like calcite or calcium leaking through. And here's multiple layers of railroad tracks. So it goes from tracks to concrete, and there's still tracks here. This concrete is put over the outer casing, just like we see there. It's kind of a protective shell. And up here, there is a fork. Got a kind of center beam here off to the left. It looks like it would have continued, but as we could see, there's a lot of collapsed material there. There's some huge boulders, and it looks like it would have went straight ahead, but no longer able to do that except for climbing up on top of the rocks. But over here though is what has my interest drawn, because you can see a hole there. That hole keeps going. It's like another little shaft or chamber. I do have a flashlight we can shine down there, so we'll take a peek inside. Possibly we'll be able to fit inside. I'm not sure yet. With these big stalactites, like big icicles. So let me head over there and check that out, and then we'll take you along as well. So as we make our way toward the opening, we can see some items on the ground. What's left of a shoe, casing of a pipe, old Coca-Cola bottle. Definitely an older one. And then we have this opening here, which I did peer into, as you saw. I'm gonna get down on my knees here and give you a glimpse inside. I'm gonna go to main camera. I actually thought about going in there, but it's not necessary because it actually dead ends up there past that pipe. But it has concrete lined walls, and top to it goes to a metal pipe. And inside there, it does dead end. It's like a collapse at the end of it. So I was prepared to go through, but now we don't have to. But it is open up here above it. And RJ did say there is some one or two items worth checking out. We can see a big rod actually coming out of here too. And right here is a drill hole. Pretty massive one as well. And you can see that is completely man-made with a drill bit. But as to what this is, I'm guessing, based on the pipe that we saw, that is for water. And it's just kind of buried here. There's a nice spider web there too. But yeah, there's one. One final look inside. Okay, so we just came from there. I'm going to turn the light back on. We go back to wide angle. Right down here, you can see some water collecting, ponding up here. And we're going to show you this part now, which is going right outside. But as I mentioned before, I'm pretty certain it would have continued straight ahead. Some big boulders here. More rail. This looks like it was intentionally kind of buried here. This almost looks like limestone too. And right behind us here, another rail, and looking back to where we just came from. So let's go up on top of here now and investigate a little bit and see what we find. Okay, we gained some elevation here. We're up on top of the opening, and a lot more concrete up here. And some items sticking out of the ground, which is our first signs of activity. This is metal conduit. So look at the wires coming through. So something requiring electricity was here. And right behind me is a drill bit. This is actually probably the same one we saw that made that hole down there. It's actually upside down, almost like they drilled up through the underneath. This is the bit part that typically bores the hole. So same one they use in mines with pneumatic drills that require a lot of effort, make a lot of noise, a lot of dust to drill holes for blasting dynamite. But that is a pretty neat discovery. And then we have, looks like walls. And over here is right where we were, where the opening went underground. So that pipe that we saw goes under this way. So we're just looking down into the hole. That's right where I was earlier. The pipe is right below us, goes underground out towards the roadway, which is probably why it's collapsed. It probably got collapsed when they made the road. And in the distance there you can see whatever he's doing, trying to maneuver his way. But I believe there's more to see up behind him. I did see some more rails, so we're going to be focusing on that area next. Okay, made some progress. Just to give you a quick update, we just came from down in that area. That's where the hole is, and got a lot of thick forest here. Even got a record player in the woods in case the animals want to jam out, listen to their favorite 45s, and a little fun with the slide. But what I want to show you though is this railing here. This is what we spotted from the distance where we were. This is almost like a guide rail, and it's attached to a big platform, foundation type structure. This has me intrigued. I don't know really what this is, but right on the other side of it though is even more intriguing. I'm going to show you that next. Okay, so this is what is really intriguing right now. You can see all that material moving. That's because there's a probably 10 to 15 degree mile per hour breeze or wind coming out of there. Really cold air, and you can see some metal beams right there. So this might be a basement, maybe a sub basement. There's a metal beam there, and this big braided kind of a cable coming out through the middle. But it is blowing out really pretty fierce. It's really strong breeze, really cold. I might try and get down there just to take a peek inside, because I'm curious if there's another foundation or basement. I don't believe it's a mine, but can't rule it out. Whatever is down there though, I'm not going to go in, but people have been down here before. It is padded down. I at least want to take a look for myself.
Jay's going to take one for the team. Hey, you see the dust? Look at that. Look at how the dust is just like blowing up.
Blowing, yeah, right up. I feel
Right
like
up.
Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. So I'm going to stand by here. If he wants his camera, I'll hand it to him so you can check out his video to see his view of it. I'll set you guys here so you can watch.
Thank you. don't know how I fit.
The struggle is real, folks.
Hitting everything on the way out.
What's that?
I'm hitting everything on the way out.
Of course. That definitely looks tight. And I'm sure with the way that wind is blowing up through there, he's getting a lot of debris and dirt in his face too.
Yeah, it's not helping. Whew. Woohoo! Success. Okay, so came out of that hole pretty interesting as to what was down there. Definitely a party spot and potential to be dangerous, so I wouldn't advise anyone going down. I just took some quick pictures. I didn't go any further than just the opening right there, so pretty cool to find it though. Unexpected discovery, as is this whole location. A fantastic roadside find. I do want to first off thank RJ and Alan for coming with me today. It is in their neck of the woods down here in southeast Pennsylvania, and from what we saw, a lot of evidence activity of a former mining industry or company that took place here. If you guys have any information on the things you saw, welcome to hear your input down below. Make sure you check out the links down below in the description for their channels to see what they thought of this location as well. And lastly, I just want to thank you so much for joining me on today's adventure. I had a great time. Hopefully you did as well, and this marks my first episode of Vlogoween. Definite success. So thanks so much for watching. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video.